Hello, everybody. I apologize for being a little bit late today, but I am here now. I am doing okay. I've had a really busy, like 3 days in a row. So we'll chat about that in a minute. But first of all, I want to say hello, and welcome to everyone who is here for Self Care Sprint. Also, I want to say a huge thank you to anybody who is catching the replay. So let us know what you're getting up to for self care. For anybody who might not know, I'm Jen, and this is my channel, Literary Love 123. And I talk about mostly the horror genre, but lately I've been digging into some personal curriculum stuff. And I also talk about poetry and sometimes classic literature. So a variety of things, but mostly horror. I had I don't know, a hair or something on my face. It was annoying me. Um, but let's get up to saying hello to everyone. Hello, Eleanor. Thank you for asking. It's maybe a little bit better today. I'm just kind of hoping for sure. No, I'm not kind of hoping. I am hoping that I won't peel because I hate that. It's just so annoying and icky and stuff. But it's well, I can show y'all a little bit. Like you can see, it's pretty bad. I don't know what I was thinking about sunscreen or not wearing sunscreen because I got this Sunday. My sister and I went to a local city. They have a really amazing arts and crafts show that they do every March. So, and it's outdoors. So I knew I was going to be outdoors, but I don't know. I guess I was thinking, well, it's not like I'm going to the beach. I'll be fine. I obviously was not. But I'm hanging in there with it. I'll survive. I've had a few sunburns in my day, which I know is also not very good for us. But then I'm so fair skinned anyway that it really doesn't take much for me to get burned. So again, like I don't know why I didn't like think to put sunscreen on my chest and back. But I didn't, and here we are. But anyway, we'll be all right. Hi Kaylin, how are you today? And some more hellos and highs. Let's see. And that's just my apology. Let's see. My apology for being a little bit late. Thank you for understanding. I probably would have been on here on time, but I walked toward the front of my house and both the cats had made use of the litter box, shall we say. And I was like, oh, no, this has to go before I get on because this is permeating my house with a scent that nobody wants to smell. Hey, Em, how are you? I hope you're doing well today. Hey, Swank, happy cocktail day. Oh, nice. Now I have an excuse to make myself a cocktail when I read later on this afternoon. Happy World Day for Achievers. Hey, let's achieve self care today. Happy chocolate covered raisins. Oop, you lost me at raisins. I do not like raisins at all. The chocolate, yes. So how about everybody out there? Do you like raisins? Give me a yes, I like raisins, and no, I don't like raisins. Let me know your thoughts about raisins. And more hellos and highs. I love everybody's greeting to each other. I love this community. Hey, Amanda, I'm so glad you're here today and happy spring break. I hope you are enjoying your time off. It's always nice to get that break from work. And I hope the weather's nice where you are so you can enjoy it. Just remember, just remember sunscreen if you spend time outside. I learned my lesson the hard way. Thank you. I hope it does too. Like I said, if it doesn't peel, I'll be very happy. And maybe it'll just kind of, go and give me a little bit of a slight tan anyway. Because I don't worry about tanning now. I'm just, because the sun is it's so bad for your skin. Now, when I was much younger, like, when I was a teenager in my early 20s, I did lay out and get some sun, but I could only do it like I'd have to really build up my time out there. And yes, I must also admit, when I was a teen and a young adult, the trend or the thing everybody did, if they wanted a tan, was to get in tanning beds. So I did that late 20 or early 20s, from my late teens to my early 20s. And then I was like, got more information, about how bad it was for you. So I was like, oh, okay, well, now I'm just going to be blinding people with my white legs all summer long. And some more hellos and highs. Yes, it is. It has aloe vera has been my very close friend the past few days. So I know that's probably also helping it some. So I'm also trying to keep it moisturized. So fingers crossed it won't peel. We'll just do the best we can. And then if it peels, it peels, and we'll just deal with it. Okay, so we have a yay for raisins. Now, Kaylin, do you like raisins by themselves, or do they have to be covered in chocolate? And dark chocolate is my favorite kind of chocolate, but I still couldn't do raisins even with dark chocolate on them. Hellos and highs, I love it. So Swain loves raisins. Eleanor loves raisins. I must be in the minority here. Some more hellos and highs. Let's see. Want to miss any comments? Yeah, it's and I knew that I would, but like I said, I guess I just wasn't making that connection about being, outdoors walking around and stuff. It just didn't even hit me. Yes, yes, we must be about the same age. I'll be 51 next month, so yeah, I definitely did the baby oil and the sun in my hair. Yes, I can still smell both. If I close my eyes, I think about those summer days. I can smell that combination of the sun in and then the baby oil. Some Prince or Madonna playing on my radio. Oh, yeah, you tolerate raisins. Yeah. Always I wish they were chocolate chips. Yeah. This is, I don't mind talking about this because I think a lot of that I do have major depressive disorder, and I was hospitalized for an attempt in 2017. So I was in inpatient psychiatric care after that attempt. And so we had it was kind of like being at a camp in some ways. You kind of bond with everybody. And we had our 3 regular meals a day, and then we had 3 snacks a day. And so one night we had chocolate chip muffins, or so we thought. We walked into the snack room. They're like, here's the evening snack. So we're like, oh, it's chocolate chip muffins. And then when we got up close to them, we realized they were raisins. And we were like, what? And somebody who was in with me at the same time said, oh, this is cruel. This is cruel to give this to crazy people. This is really cruel. And I know that term crazy is not the proper term to use, but this person was talking about himself, and we were all in there. And so I feel like since we were all in there, we can use that word, take ownership back, make light of it. But it was just like one of those funny moments in the midst of all the pain and the struggle and the fear. So every time I think about chocolate chip muffins versus raisin muffins, I always think about that story. And this isn't a spoiler for the book The Devil in Silver by Victor LaValle, but I recently read it, and by the way, it's a 5-star, one of my favorite books, not only of this year that I've read, but of all time. So The Devil in Silver is set in a mental institution, and they have these cookies for snacks, and one of them says that whatever is in the middle, it looks like a beet. And I also hate beets. And why would you put beet in a cookie? I don't think they ever really determined whether or not, it's actually a beet, but it was so I could really identify with the character, because one of the characters is like why would they put beets in cookies, even for us here in this kind of place? That's just torture. That's just wrong. So I immediately thought back to my experience with what we thought was chocolate chips, but ended up being raisins. So that's my little aside about raisins and chocolate chips. So that's funny. Chocolate chips, definitely. Okay, so you would eat raisins. Yeah. If I'm going to eat something covered in dark chocolate, I like dark chocolate almonds, dark chocolate like peanut clusters. Those are the things I like. As I don't like raisins, but I do like grapes, and I like wine. I just don't like when they shrivel the grape up. Can't do it. Thank you, thank you. The thing is, if I if I got out in the sun more, it would probably not be the case. But that's one of the things. Like I said, once I got to my mid 20s and later, it's not that I never go outside. I spend time outside until the summer gets here and it's too hot. Because I live in a very rural woodsy area. So I do spend time outside, but I just normally would be covered at least a lot by trees, or I would put on sunscreen, or I didn't even wear like a little hat or like a pretty sun hat or anything. I didn't wear anything Sunday, which probably would have helped too. But yeah, I just use sunscreen always on my face. So I did have sunscreen on my face. So my face did not get burned. No, it got a little color to it, but it didn't get burned because a lot of the skincare and makeup stuff that I use does have sunscreen. So that's one thing that I do know, no matter if I'm gonna be outside 5 minutes, I've got some sunscreen on my face. So that helps, well, with skin. And then I drink a lot of water. I take biotin supplements. I eat fruits and vegetables, and also as far as like too my skin, I have good genetics on both sides. Both my parents, their skin, like my mom is 70, well, she'll be 73 this year, and my dad will be 80 this year, and they don't have wrinkles. And I'm like, how in the world? Like, I actually have more wrinkles than they do because I don't, like, I can get up close. You might can see, like, I've got some across here under my bangs, and then I've got this one right here. So I guess it's because I'm always like concentrating like this or making a mad face or something. So I'm like, I don't have very many, and I'm not going to do anything about them. I don't care. It's somebody's prerogative. I don't care if somebody gets Botox or somebody gets work done. I think that's great. But I'm not going to do it. So it's just like whatever, wrinkles are on my face, I guess they're just going to be there. I just went on a long, discussion about skincare and stuff. Y'all forgive me here. I'm just rambling. And some more hellos and hi. Raisins, craisins. Yeah, that's like the cranberry, right? Let's see. Yeah, yes. Yes, nature's bow ties. Get the bangs and cover them up. So yeah, I it's just one of those things, right? Just getting older, you're just gonna have those things. And I decided well, I colored my hair dark. I think it was last year. Yeah. And then after I let that grow out, I decided I'm not gonna color my hair anymore. This is my natural hair color. And like you can see, like I don't know if you can see, you might can, like it's starting to get like some grays and whites over here. But I decided also to not to worry about coloring my hair because it's a lot of maintenance, it's a lot of upkeep, and I color my own hair at home because it's just so expensive to get it done at the salon. So I decided the wrinkles, if I get them, I get them, or when I, not if I or already do, like it's right there. White, gray hair, whatever, it's just gonna come. And again, I don't care if somebody wants to color their hair until the day that they die. But I just decided, no, I'm just gonna let it be gray or white, whatever the case may be. Um, I hope to get white hair like my mom's mom had. She had the most beautiful white hair. So I'm hoping I get that. But if it's gray, I'm happy with that too. It's fine. Everything is fine. Yeah, so true. Yes, they are. All right. I think we might be to the end of the comments, and I thank you all for just being here on this first little discussion because we have talked about raisins and mental institutions, skincare, aging, all kinds of stuff. But having discussions and having a good time, that is definitely part of self care. And so my self care. I'm gonna do some things around my house, mostly like that involve sitting and reading stuff. I am so tired. I've had a good past few days, but going out 3 days in a row is not what I usually do. And that's what happened Saturday, Sunday, and yesterday. Saturday, my best friends and I went to a spring equinox tea, and it was about an hour and 15 minutes from where I live. So I was on the road doing that, but it was well worth it. We had the best tea, the best homemade food. The lady whose house we went to for the tea, she grows all of her own stuff. She is just, I mean, it's just amazing. So everything was like homemade and straight from like what she had there at her house. So it was absolutely worth the drive to do that. And then Sunday, like I said, I went with my sister and got sunburned at the arts and crafts show, but it was a really wonderful time. There were so many vendors, like every single street downtown where we went. And if any of you are familiar with Alabama, the arts and crafts show we went to is in Fairhope, Alabama, which is a really, really beautiful city. And there were just so many vendors. And then the shops that were downtown that would normally be closed on Sunday, they had a smart marketing idea because they were all open on Sunday. So we went in there too. And it was just a really nice day for my sister and I to spend some time together. But that drive is about an hour and a half. So again, on the road, on the road Sunday. And then yesterday, I met another friend for lunch. And if you're familiar with Alabama, I met her in Mobile, which is about a 45-minute drive from where I live. So I was on the road again yesterday, and that is not typical for me. Typically, I might make a drive like that once a week, maybe occasionally twice, usually not twice in a row, definitely not 3 days in a row. So I'm like, I am glad and fingers crossed that I don't have to leave this house today because I want to do some reading and taking care of stuff. Yes. I mean, I even was thinking since it's going kind of gray anyway, I said I wasn't going to color my hair anymore, but I'm like, should I just go ahead and color it gray? And then I was like, no, it's going to go that way naturally. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. So I'm trying to pay attention to what I say and leave it alone. So now I want to talk about what we can fit into our day. Yeah, it was so much fun and I enjoyed every single one, but like it's also important, like you said, to rest. Definitely that balance between going out and out and out and out and then resting for sure. Oh yeah, Gulf Shores is really, really pretty. Fairhope is it's just one of those quaint little towns, and they have an amazing bookshop. I think they have newer books. I'm pretty sure they have newer books in there. Then they also have like a used book section, and attached to that is a coffee shop, Latte Da, which is also really good. So we did visit, of course, coffee and books. We did go into that little shop Sunday too. But Fairhope is a beautiful little city, and then they have like the Fairhope Pier, which is really nice. So it's a nice trip to take for sure. So let me know what you're planning for self-care today. I am planning to read the first act of Hamlet, because if you've watched my video on my personal curriculum, it's up on my channel now. If you haven't seen it, you can catch it if you'd like. But one of the courses I'm taking is from edX, and it's on Hamlet. So I'm going to be reading the first act of Hamlet during this break. I don't know. I probably won't finish it because I'm pretty sure it's going to take me more than 45 minutes to read Act 1 of Hamlet because it's kind of long. So that is my plan for this 45 minutes. So let me know what you're going to be doing. I'd love to find out how you're going to spend your self-care break. I'm going to grab my phone and wait for some comments. Be right back. And I'm back because my phone was right beside me. Okay, so it's 9:27. So by the time we look at a few more comments, it'll probably be about 9:30. So we'll just return at well, for me, it'll be 10, be the next hour coming up. But wherever you are, whatever your next hour is. So let me see what everybody is going to get up to. Okay, yeah. I'm kind of far from Birmingham. Our friend Travis, he is in that area. So if you know Travis, Bibliosharp, Biblio, whatever, he changes his name a lot to fit whatever's going on. He's so fun. He and I talk about getting together all the time, as he's in the northern part of Alabama and I'm in the southern. So we are always talking about we got to get together. But Birmingham it's got some nice areas to it too. Of course, that's where UAB is, which is like the big hospital with all the extra stuff and all that. Blackheart Boys Choir. That sounds like an interesting read. I hope you're enjoying that, M. That laundry is never ending, right? Especially when you're away, like you said, then you got to come home and do the laundry. Yeah, it's been trending and I was like, it sounds interesting, but I don't jump on trends. I don't do this stuff. But the more I thought about it, I thought, this is a trend I would like to jump on because it really helps not only keep you from, like, I say you, but me, all of us, right, collectively from doom scrolling or experiencing brain rot, but it gives you a schedule and you can be flexible. I mean, you're only accountable to you, but it gives you just a schedule and the initiative to learn about things, anything you want to learn about. Like Hamlet is one of the things I'm doing, but my other two things, I just made up the courses myself. One of them is about looking at Earth through the lens of the Gothic and how humans have affected the Earth and how the present struggles we have are often connected to things that people did in the past or are still doing. And so I'm reading a book about that and watching some videos. And then my other course I created for myself is a David Lynch deep dive course. So, I mean, anything, you can just do anything. Lee from Dark Roots Creation, who is on Saturday Morning Momentum, she's doing a personal curriculum and she has a video on hers too. And she structured hers like different areas of a house. So it is just, if you search on YouTube or TikTok, if you have TikTok, that's really where it started. I don't have TikTok anymore, but the person who started the whole thing, she was just talking about her personal curriculum she did for herself. And then other people saw and heard about it and they jumped onto it. So now it's a big thing, but her name is Elizabeth Jean, and you can find her at Parmesan Princess on YouTube and TikTok. And I did in my personal curriculum video, I linked her video So you can go, like I said, if you search it up, a bunch of stuff will pop up for you. I'm having the best time. I really am. Oh, that's nice. You're on the ball with your morning pages and daily self-help books. Nice. Yep, Travis. It is. It's a trend. And I feel like in a lot of ways, a lot of us, especially I think those of us who read books or maybe are like really into watching movies, and then we decide we want to learn more about something. I feel like we've kind of been doing this, but we just didn't have a name for it. And then people gave it a name, and so now it's picking up. But unlike a lot of other trends, I find this one to be worthwhile because it's really about exploring things that interest you and kind of giving yourself permission to keep learning no matter how old you are. And I think that's very important that we continue to learn. So that's why I said I'm not a trend jumping person, but I jumped on this one. And I don't think I've seen you here before, Phoebe, but it is lovely to see you. Do you want us to call you Phoebe? Is that what you want to go by? And I have to also say that I love your avatar. I love the bee and the honeycomb, but I love bees. So welcome, Phoebe. It's nice to see you. Yeah. Yes, my David Lynch, like what I was doing this morning, I was actually watching on YouTube a series of character study videos from the characters of Twin Peaks. And that was extremely interesting to me. Listening to the audiobook written by Mark Frost, who is one of the co-creators of Twin Peaks. I'm listening to that audiobook called The Secret History of Twin Peaks, and it goes way back to like indigenous tribes and has all kinds of connections to government cover-ups and aliens. And then as you work your way toward the middle or end of the book, it eventually gets down to the actual characters that are on the show, but you find out more about their childhoods. You find out more about their, how certain couples got together. It's just so broad, and my mind is just like blown. And I'm physically reading The Secret Diary of Laura Palmer, written by Jennifer Lynch, David's daughter. But whew, my gosh, it is heavy. It is disturbing, which I knew it would be because it's Laura's diary. But if I'm sure if you've seen Firewalk with Me, you know how disturbing and gut wrenching and hard to watch a lot of that is. But amplify that, in my opinion, by 100 times to read The Secret Diary. And my heart just breaks. I'm gonna tear up because yeah, Laura's fictional, but at the same time, this stuff happens all the time. So it's brutal, and I just cry, and I just want to save Laura. I just want to save her. So anyway, that's what I have been doing. But that's why I'm gonna switch from one tragedy to another and read Act One of Hamlet. Hi, Kathy. It's lovely to see you. I'm so glad you're here today. I'm so excited to know that you have been inspired by my personal curriculum. Kathy watched the video and she commented, and so now she's on her own journey. Kathy, if you want to, you can share a little bit about that in the comments because other people would probably love to know what you are learning. So we ended up chatting till about 9:35. So I'm going to change it for us now, and we'll come back instead of like exactly on the hour. We'll come back at, let's see, if it's 9:30. I was doing it wrong anyway. We don't have 30 minutes of a sprint. We have 45 minutes. So I wouldn't have been right to say on the hour anyway. So we'll say it's about 9:40, and so we'll come back at 25 after the next hour. Hey, Kayla, it's so lovely to see you. Yes, every Tuesday, except, sometimes something comes up, but it should be every Tuesday, like the rest of this month, which, believe it or not, is almost over. And then every Tuesday in April, except for one, the 14th, my daughter will be home from school. And that's my birthday. So, other than that, we're usually here on Tuesdays, but I'm so glad you could join. And I would love to know what you're going to get up to during our time away. So we will come back at about 25 after the hour. So I'm going to change this banner to reflect the time that we are coming back today. All right, that should get it. And then save it and show it. Okay, I hope everybody has a lovely time of self care. And I will see you all at 25 after our next hour. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Let us know what you got up to while we were on our little break there. So I wanted to go back and I put the comments up, but I didn't get to talk about them. So I'm going to do that now. Some of the comments that went up after we went on the sprint. So Kayla Gray said she was going to read a couple of chapters in the books that she's in the middle of, the multiple books, and maybe do some journaling. And I was just saying to her that I can totally relate to reading multiple books at the same time because I am doing the same thing. I typically like have an audiobook, at least like one audiobook and then one physical book. Right now, I have one audiobook and 3 physical books that I am tackling. No, 4 physical books. So that's a lot even for me. But that is where I am right now. And then Kathy had mentioned what she was doing for her personal curriculum on my personal curriculum video, but I asked her to share it again here so you all can see what all the possibilities could be. And so Kathy is working on learning about the world's different religions and signing up for a sign language course. So, like I said, it is there are so many options that you can choose for your own personal curriculum. So if you all are doing one or if you're thinking about doing one, then I would love to hear about it because this is a trend that's a good trend, I think. Yep, I love that. Phoebe said she's doing 4 books, a fiction, a biography, 2 nonfiction, self-help. And I find too that helps because I do also have ADHD. So sometimes it helps me to have different types of books that I'm reading because I can kind of go with whatever the vibe is I'm feeling at the moment. So that way I don't get bored. And Eleanor was very productive with laundry, making the bed, cleaning the kitchen, making the grocery list. So you're getting power hour stuff done during your self-care today. And I love that because that gets, you tackle some of these things earlier in the week and then you don't have to worry about them for the rest of the week. Oh, a book journal. Oh, I love that. A giant TBR with book cover stickers, synopses. Oh my gosh, I love it. Children's lit horror. That sounds amazing. I don't know if you're on Discord, but I'd love to see the pictures on Discord. I love looking at people's journals. Yep, that's it. The ability to jump around to different things that you're feeling at the moment. So during the time we were on our sprint a minute ago, I read and annotated Act One, Scenes One and Two of Hamlet. The course I'm taking mainly is about the ghost of Hamlet's father. So I tried to limit my annotations to just notes about the ghost. There were a couple of other things I noted, but it does help to know because I'm somebody I feel like I annotate almost everything, and a lot of my books have a ridiculous number of tabs where I've annotated. But it's nice to have a course that's like, okay, specifically, we're going to be talking about the ghost in Hamlet. So that helps my brain to just be like, just ghost, just ghost. Not everything you find interesting, just ghost. But like I said, I only got through Acts 1 and 2. And I did, I had a Shakespeare course in grad school and I loved it, but it's been a couple of years since I've been in the world of Shakespeare. So I am not reading it, as fast as, like, say, I'm reading The Secret Diary of Laura Palmer, because I have to kind of get my mindset back into the writing of Shakespeare. Ooh, that sounds so good. I love a breakfast bagel. That sounds very good. I'm glad, or I'm glad she, or no, I'm glad you got to talk to your mom, but I'm sorry that she's feeling under the weather. I hope that she is feeling a lot better soon. And got your books ready, ready to read, right? We're all talking about juggling our multiple books. Yeah, right now, like I have a reading journal. I am very hit and miss with it, but it's just like a one of the bigger journals, and it's got a harder back and covers, like one of the hardcover ones. And it's held up really well, but also, like I said, I'm very hit and miss using it. So I probably haven't put that much, wear and tear on it. For my junk journals, I just repurposed old notebooks that I had, but I don't know, they're probably not going to be the most sturdy. Oh, yeah, maybe somebody else has some tips for good quality journals for Kaylin. If you know some, help a girl out, right? Thank you, Em. I appreciate that so much. That's one of the struggles I have with having a YouTube channel, like the lack of views or subscribers. And I try so hard not to get hung up on that because that'll just suck the joy right out of the creative process. And I didn't start my channel to try to get a whole bunch of views or a whole bunch of subscribers. My intent was just to be able to talk with people about books and to talk about what I was reading, or what I might be doing for my learning journey, or whatever, and to hear from other people. And I have a wonderful small community of faithful people who comment on all my videos. And I have, new ones coming in. Like some of you are here today from my personal curriculum video, and I just want to say thank you. But even with all of that, there are times I struggle, like thinking, why am I doing this? Because my personal curriculum video, it went up Friday, and I don't know how many views it has now, maybe 70. And like some of my other recent videos, maybe only had like 40 something or 30 something views. My subscriber number is staying somewhere around 465, and I've been at this since January of 2024. And so sometimes I can't help but compare myself. And I know that's like never do it, but compare myself to people who've been on as long or even shorter amount of time than I have. And they already have like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 subscribers. And, it can kind of give you a knock, or me, I'm talking about me. It does sometimes knock my self-esteem down a bit. But anyway, that was just a long tangent to talk about my personal struggle sometimes with creativity. But it's about community. That's what I tell myself, and that's the truth of it. Like right now, chatting with you all, building this space to be together and to practice self-care, and to talk about what we're doing to practice self-care, and to talk about, the books we're reading, the ways we are, finding pockets of joy in these very difficult times. So that's what we're here for, is community and self-care. So I'll refocus now. So I think we came to the end of our comments here. And again, it's about 10:35, we'll say. So that'll put us coming back, I think, y'all watch me do math in my head. Maybe about 20 after the next hour. I think that's right. We'll say it's right. We'll go with that. About 20 after whatever the next hour is for you. So I will put up that banner, and we will return at 20 after. Hello, excuse me. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. And I just want to start by apologizing for going off on that little tangent and slash rant about lack of viewership and subscribers. That is not self care. That is not what we're here for today. So not only do I apologize for that, but when I went off on that, I didn't even look at the comments. So that's what I'm here for, and that's what I want you to come for, is to share what you're doing for self-care. So I apologize for just dumping all that out here and not paying attention to comments. So let me go back to where we were and actually talk about what you got up to the last sprint, because I asked the question and then got off on my own thing and didn't even pay attention. So Amanda finished her Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys Super Mystery, 5 stars. Though that brings back so much, so many memories for me. I went as a child to the library, and I love Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys. So I love that. Yeah, I understand that. I just started doing the personal curriculum in March, so I feel like I'm pretty well going strong right now, but I know there will possibly be times where I'll experience the same thing where I'm just not feeling it. And I think that, well, I know that's okay, because we're doing this for ourselves, right? For our own learning journey, and it's supposed to be fun. So, the tendency is to put pressure on ourselves, but we don't have to do that. So it'll be there when you're ready to get back to it. And Swank finished her daily help books and read some of I love this title, ADHD for Badass Women. And next sprint, which should have been this one we just were on, Swank was going to be reading The End of the World as We Know It. So let us know what you're thinking about that book, Swank. Oh, yeah. I was trying to see if I could find the brand of this journal that I use for my reading journal. I don't even know what the brand is. I looked and I can't find it, but it's got like that hard cover, and it's like a larger journal. But like I said, I don't use it as much. But here's like from my Halloween-a-thon with Kelsey. That's just one of my pages there. And then I just have a couple, like I have some Edgar Allan Poe pages. And then at the beginning, I actually have some notes on some of the books here. And this has been really sturdy. Like I said, I wish I could say the brand name, but I don't remember. And I can't find it on here. But this has stayed together really well. And then for my junk journaling or in collage journaling, this was actually like an old reading book that, like, it was like a way to keep track of your reading. I can't think of what I'm trying to say, but it had like reading goals. I guess it was like a pre-made sort of reading journal, and somebody gave it to me, and it just really wasn't working out for me. So when I decided to get into this whole junk journaling and collage journaling and stuff, I just reused this book. So it's got the soft cover, but I reinforced it with other like paper collages, whatever, and it worked okay. This one is just, this is a regular like little notebook. This is the journal I just started, but it's just a notebook. And then what I did was to glue like 3 pages. I went through the whole thing and glued 3 pages together to make it thicker and able to hold more stuff without getting too flimsy or falling apart. So I just, for that kind of journaling, I've just been repurposing stuff that I had. And you're welcome. Yes, love Nancy Drew. And Kathy is recommending Archer and Olive. Yes, I've gotten a couple of things from them. And like Kathy said, they are a bit more on the pricey side, but the quality is good. And the things I've gotten from them have lasted me. So that's a good option too. That's a good question, Kayla Grace, because I followed you too, and I haven't seen any notifications about your videos either. So I've heard people say that sometimes YouTube will unsubscribe them from somebody that they did not unsubscribe from. And then I don't know if the bell works or not. I think it works sometimes, but obviously not all the time, like I said, because if you've been putting videos out there, I haven't gotten those notifications either. So what I guess, I need to do is to get the old fashioned way out, and write down every channel I subscribe to and just make sure to check their content in case it's not getting to me. That is frustrating for sure. Yeah, that's it. And that's when I got that mentality, like you said, that I'm sharing it for whoever wants to watch it, whoever needs to watch it, because I'm not trying to make money doing this. I'm not trying to become this big YouTuber at all. And I'm also behind on watching people's videos too, because there's just, I won't get into it now, but a lot of different things happening in my life right now that are causing me a lot of grief. So sometimes I am behind too. And I appreciate you sharing your love for my videos. I love yours too, Em. And if you're not subscribed to Em, she's got one of the most calming presences on YouTube. Like I know when I watch a video from Em, my blood pressure is going to go down. I'm going to be able to breathe out and relax because not only does she have great content, but she just has a very soothing voice. And I just love to watch Em's videos. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Em. You bring me so much joy too. You're welcome. I hope this is good for all of you. It's good for me. And then I'm just apologizing in comments like I did in person. Yes, Umesh is on the another part of the world for sure because I'm in the daytime now and Umesh is going into night. Umesh is faithful to comment on almost every one of my YouTube posts. So thank you for hopping on before you went to bed. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. And I hope you have a wonderful night's rest. Yes, sometimes we just have to you talk about our feelings because I tend to start thinking it's all about me and that I'm doing everything wrong or again like I said the comparison thinking I'm not as good as this person and I don't know how to edit like this person which one of the things I'm planning to do for my personal curriculum probably not until the fall though because of life is to do a course in video editing so I can improve my editing skills. But I know it's not about me. And if it is about me, that's fine. My content isn't for everybody. I certainly understand that. So it's all about like what you said is just to keep doing what we love because that's the real reason to do this because it gives us a creative outlet and it helps us build community, which I have found the community aspect to be my favorite thing about being on BookTube. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad you journaled. I've been, kind of out of it for several days myself. So that's one thing that I'm going to schedule in today. When I finish reading a little bit more for my personal curriculum courses, I'm that's what I want to do is journal today too. I'm so glad that you were able to get back into it and it felt nice because that is a form of self-care in and of itself. Thank you. Okay. So Kathy Red from middle grade March, Silverborn, build up bird feeders. Oh, we were talking about that on Saturday Morning Momentum. Kathy, if you don't know what Saturday Morning Momentum is, you can find out about it at Cat's Novel Adventures channel. She hosts Saturday Morning Momentum, and I and a few other booktubers join her as well, as well as another co-host who's not a booktuber, but she does read a lot. And so we do Saturday Morning Momentum as part of our Rise and Remix in 2026. So it's just a way to hold each other accountable on Saturday mornings to have a couple, a little bit of chat. Then we break for an hour to focus on whatever goal we want to meet that day. And then we get back on, we talk about it, we encourage each other. But Lori, who is another one of the hosts, you can find her at Books, Ink, and Paper. She was talking about how watching her birds at her bird feeders is something that she really loves. And somebody in the comments said watching the birds is next level adulting. And I just love that because I too love to watch the birds at the bird feeders. So that's definitely a big part of self-care, reading and watching birds. I love that. Yeah, the spine for sure. Like I said, my reading journal stays together pretty well because I'm not consistent with it. So I still have a lot of empty pages. But my junk journals, like this one is okay so far, but that's only because I haven't, put much in it yet. There's still all this space, but this one is full. But now this is just like I said, just paper soft cover, and the spine is okay, even though it's it's definitely like full and really wide right there. Nice. Yeah. Weather does affect our moods so much, most definitely. And it's nice when you can get the the sunshine. It kind of gives you that vitamin D, restores your energy. But that's one thing, like, well, where I live, we do have some cold days in winter. We can't always count on it because on the Alabama Gulf Coast, you never know. You might have a day in the middle of winter that's like a high of 75. You just never know. But we did have a lot of actually really cold days this past winter, and of course, during that time of year, it gets dark earlier, and one of the things I've really been reading about and learning about the past few years is how, you know, before things kind of progressed to the way we do things now, people used to really rest during the winter time. They would be indoors. They wouldn't put this pressure on themselves to do as much. Like the whole thing with January starting a new year, and people are like making, I don't make New Year's resolutions anymore the same way I used to, but people, are talking about how that is not the time to have to decide you're going to change this certain thing about yourself, and it's still dark and it's cold and it's dreary. So you kind of wait and do the new year in March, like spring, because that's when things are coming back to life. And so I've really started to embrace that and just to really kind of hibernate as much as I can in winter and rest and just take care of myself and not feel like I have to do all of these things. Kind of paying attention to nature's rhythms and how it affects my body. That's helped a lot with my self care. So it's totally relatable. that you were struggling more in the winter and now you're feeling like you're coming back to life. I like spring here, but summer it'll be way too hot and then I'll be stuck inside because of the heat and humidity. So I got to get out there in spring while I can. Oh, okay. Yeah, so the end of the world that we as we know it, that is, I guess, the short stories based on The Stand or kind of like in the universe of The Stand. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. And Swank, I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying it. So that encouraged me to bump it up a little bit on my TBR. Oh, toast and eggs sounds nice. Yep, another Kaylin's also here talking about struggling a bit with the winter and being glad to be back into the spring and the sunshine. Thank you, Eleanor. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, because I was like, people were talking about they could just, when I was first starting this whole idea of like junk journaling or collage journaling, a lot of the people that were doing it, they were talking about repurposing notebooks around their house. And again, referring to my ADHD, I probably have, I'm not even exaggerating, probably 10 to 15 notebooks around my house that I find and I'm like, what was I using this for? And the first 2 pages, I will have been making a plan or making a list or using it for one thing or another. And then there's nothing after the 2 pages. And the bad thing is, sometimes I'll find one notebook with that specific sort of thing in it. And then a little bit later, I'll find another notebook with pretty much the same specific thing, again, only on like 2 or 3 pages. And I'm like, what am I doing? So, yeah, I have a lot of spare notebooks around here that I need to do something with. That's all we can do is just our best. Yes. Yeah, that is the case too. Yeah, like Swank, I get more of seasonal affective disorder in summer because like I said, I really can't be outside then. Winter, we have enough days where it's not real cold that it's not bad to be outside. But like Swank said, going out every day and getting some sun early in the mornings in the summer when the sun has just come up. I try to get myself outside, even if I can just take it for like 5 minutes. It's still a little bit of sun. So that is a great tip that Swank has here to try to get a little bit of sun every day that you are able to do so. Thank you, Kaylin. I am. All my friends here, y'all give me a lot of comfort. And then my family and my friends in real life, I'm thankful for my support groups and all these different places. Well, you're welcome, Em, because it's true too. Yes, I can put a link to M's channel. Let me do that real quick. Let me see if I can go ahead and do that because I don't want to forget. So hold that thought. Let me see. I didn't mean to start. My YouTube playlist just started playing, so y'all got a little bit of music there unexpectedly. I know I'm being so slow right now, but I am wanting to put M's channel here. I just watched one of her videos, so it may be right on my history playlist because I watched one of them last night. Let me see if I can get to it. I appreciate y'all's patience because I do want to definitely. I tried to type in her channel name, but then, sometimes when you do that, it doesn't want to send you the right thing. It'll just start sending you unrelated stuff that you don't want. Aha, I have it, so I can put it in there. Y'all might hear her voice a minute before I pause it. Yep. Y'all heard some more music from Em. All right, so now I'm going to share Em's channel. And there we go. That should get it. Oh, pirate writing morning pages. That's good. I don't know. Tell me about the pirate writing. I know morning pages. I know what that is, but you can also tell us about that if you want to, in case people don't know about morning pages. Since I haven't done them and you have, like I said, I kind of know what they are, but I don't know about pirate writing. So let us know about those, Swain. Thank you for being here, Kathy. I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I hope you enjoy your personal curriculum journey. I see I'm not alone. You all are my people, right? Reading multiple books, having multiple notebooks and journals going around. You're welcome. And this is M's channel. And M and Kayla have connected. Oh, yes, more poetry. Yes. Uh, so I need to put Kayla's on. I'm gonna link her channel too. I don't know if they can put it in themselves because I don't think they have wrenches, as they say. I think you might have to have a wrench. So let me see if I can get Kayla's up there too. I need to give some of my regulars here. I need to give y'all wrenches so y'all can help put stuff into the comments. It's too bad our friend Alicia from Books and Things with Alicia isn't here today because she is like the fastest typer and the best at getting out everything that we say, getting it right there out there quickly when we need somebody to link a channel or something else. Let's see. So let's see. Kayla Grace Reeves. Let me try again. Yeah, I'm so hit and miss sometimes with my amount of videos I get out there because, again, like you said, it's kind of dependent on my mood, my level of energy. Some people are consistent to be like their videos come every Tuesday and every Saturday. But I can't quite commit to something like that at this point in life. There's Kayla's channel too. And if anybody else has a channel, I would like to be able to link yours too. Just let me know. I'm not sure who's still here now. All right. So if you do have a channel, just put in the comments and let us know. And that way I can try to get your links out here too so we can all follow each other. All right. So this last sprint, I typically end around noon, but we can do one more sprint and let it be 30 minutes if that sounds okay to everybody. Let me know. Posting soon. All right. Okay, Cursed Dragon Ship, Kelly's Morning Time Pirates. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for letting us know. Nice. I appreciate that. So is everybody good with one more sprint at 30 minutes? Hello, hello. I'm gonna leave that up there just a minute so everybody has time if you need to find this. All right, got one. Sounds good. So we will do that. And M says yes. And I apologize if suddenly my face is red and I'm sweating because, again, I'll be 51 in a few weeks and I am postmenopausal. And I thought the hot flashes would be over by now, but they are not. So, whoop. All right, I'm going to go stick my head in the freezer and I will see you all back in 30 minutes. Hello, everybody. I'm like, I think a minute, no, 2 minutes late. But I was working on a discussion guide for Shirley Jackson's The Lottery, because I lead a local teen book club for a homeschool group that a friend of mine is over. So yeah, I was just like working away on that study guide, and I was like, ooh. But how did everyone do? We had some yeses and sounding good to 30 minutes. And M is familiar with hot flashes. Yes. I mean, I really thought that I would be finished with them because I've been postmenopausal for like a year and a half, but I still get hot flashes. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I wish you were local too. Yeah, like I don't have any kids that I homeschool anymore. I homeschooled my middle two children all the way from kindergarten until they finished high school. But they are, one of them is 25 and the other one's 22. They don't live with me anymore. So they're not homeschooled anymore. And then my youngest, Renna, she goes to a local school that's especially designed for disabled students. So I'm not homeschooling anymore, but I did go back after my kids graduated and got my master's in English. So I teach some online classes. And then this will be my first book club meeting coming up in April with the teens of the book club. And my friend just started the homeschool group like a month ago, and there are already like 60 something members. So it's really exciting. And I'm looking forward to talking to some teens about the lottery. It would be great if you are local, M. I mean, not just for that, but just because I would just love to be able to like hang out with you in person. Ooh, that sounds good. Barbecue pineapple flatbread pizza. Mmm, yummy. Yay, you got that laundry done, Eleanor. Oh my goodness, I love that. Yeah, M's got a video about the poetry tea time that she did with her children because M homeschools and they read the Jabberwocky, and it's just a lovely video. Poetry tea time is amazing. I did that with my kids when they were homeschooled. Inspiration from the same person that M got hers from, Julie Bogart at Brave Writer. So lovely. You don't even have to have, children in your home if you want to do poetry tea time. As a matter of fact, coming up on April 19th on my channel at 12 Central Time, we are going to be doing a virtual tea party. You can bring your tea while we're chatting. I'm going to read a few poems so we can have our own little poetry tea time. You don't have to drink tea. You can bring coffee, which is what I usually drink, but I do like specialty flavor like hot tea. You can bring water, you wine, whatever you want to. So I'm excited about doing that with you all. Yes, it would be so much fun. Yeah, it does. I can't wait to see it. M's always got something going creatively on her channel. Yeah, I am too. I just thought, that'll be a good idea to do a virtual tea party. It never ends, does it, Swank? I can send you a copy. Yeah, I'm almost done with the study guide, so I can do that. You might have to. Well, I can get with you on Instagram. I'll message you on Instagram. Oh yes, I know. I hate having to make doctor's appointments and like deal with all that because, like you said, it's always busy, and then you'll be waiting on the phone, and like it a lot of times for me it'll be like you're caller number 12 in the queue, and I'm like 12. I just put it on speaker and keep it nearby me and go about my business. But I hate having to deal with all that. Oh, that sounds like fun. Murder at the Blueberry Festival. I love that. Yeah, I'll get with you there. And I will get you that study guide. Now it's going to be geared mostly for teens, so the language will be a little more teens instead of using like I guess certain vocabulary words that teens might be like, what? If I try to say juxtaposition or dichotomy, so I gotta you know, take that out because they probably don't quite understand those words. So I'm just like contrast. What about the contrast between? Because it's kind of like I have to take it from writing like essays for grad school or, doing conferences for a lot of adults. I'm like, no, I got to not be way up here using words and because teens you need to kind of they're intelligent. I love being able to teach teens because they have some great ideas and but at the same time you got to kind of go in there and relate to their way of speaking. uh I don't use like little slang words with them most of the time, like trending, phrases that they probably be like, oh, why is that old woman trying to, say this, whatever the cool phrase is. See, I don't even know what it is right now. Yes, the cute. Yes, totally. All right. Well, I think we have, excuse me, come to the end of our comments. And I just want to say thank you for being here today, everybody. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you are catching this on the replay, I also appreciate you. And I would love to know what you got up to for your self care when you watch the replay. I will see you all, should be next Tuesday. Planning to get my journal flip through video filmed and uploaded and ready to go this week. So look for that. It's my first journal flip through, so we'll see how well I can do with it, but I'm just going to get in there and do it right. That's all I can do. Thank you. Thank you. It's wonderful hanging out with all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, Saturday morning momentum. Yes. Thank you. Yes, it's a nice way to kind of break up every day. I agree. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day or night and rest of your week, everybody. I love you all. Bye.